Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes, biology session, reproduction in animals. Here you all know that there are different types of life process. You can recall the processes of digestion, circulation and respiration, which you have studied in the previous class. Okay, so these processes are essential for the survival of every individual. So you have also learnt about the process of reproduction in plants in the 7th class, isn't it? Reproduction is essential for continuation of a species. So imagine what would have happened if the organisms have not reproduced, if there is no process of reproduction. You will realize that reproduction is very important as it ensures the continuation of similar kind of individuals or generation after generation. So you have already learnt in your previous class about the reproduction in plants. In this chapter we will learn how reproduction takes place in animals. Are you ready, children? Let us proceed. What is reproduction? Define in simple terms. The process by which an organism produces its offsprings is called reproduction. The process by which an organism produces its offspring is called reproduction. What is offspring? Offspring is nothing but the daughter. Okay, the children. When a single parent is involved in reproduction and gamete formation does not happen, it is called asexual reproduction. Okay, there are two types of reproduction are there. Basically, the first one is asexual reproduction. When a single parent is involved in reproduction and gamete formation does not happen, it is called asexual reproduction. And the second type, when two parents were involved in reproduction and gamete formation do happen, it is called sexual reproduction. Okay, asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction. You come across this asexual reproduction in 7th class you have studied. So here only one organism is involved. Okay, by this is called budding. Okay, so single organism, a bud is developed and it divides. Okay, it can survive on its own. This is called asexual reproduction, where there is no production of gamete, no fusion of gametes. So modes of reproduction. Have you seen the young ones of different animals? You might have observed. Okay, for example, human beings, we are calling it as baby. Cat, kitten, you can call it as. Dog, puppy. Okay. Butterfly, the young one, caterpillar. Hen, chick. Okay, cow, calf. Frog, tadpole, the larva. Okay, just as in plants there are two modes of reproduction in animals. What are they? Asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. So here in sexual reproduction, see two organisms, one is male and another one is female. Here the male organism produce the male gametes, spermatozoa, and the female organism produce the female gamete, ova. Okay, the fusion, fertilization, and the zygote is formed, and the embryo develops into a new individual. So this process in which there is a production of gametes and fusion of gametes appear, that is called the sexual reproduction. So do all the animals lay eggs? So let us question ourselves, do all animals lay eggs? And another question, think about it, are there any animals that give birth to young ones? Another question, how can we identify which animals lay eggs and which give birth to young ones? So if you recall your previous knowledge, think about these questions, you will find the answer. Do all animals lay eggs? No. There are certain animals which directly give birth to young ones. Can you give some examples? The animals which lay eggs? Birds. Okay, the birds lay eggs. Frogs lay eggs. Fish lay eggs. Insects lay eggs. Like that, you can make a list of animals which lay eggs. You make a table and another table, the animals which directly give birth to young ones. Can a turtle give birth to young one or lay eggs? Tortoise? Yes, they lay eggs only. A crocodile? Lay eggs. A snake? Lay eggs. Like that, you identify in your surroundings different animals which lay eggs and make a list. And next, animals that give birth to young ones. Can you give examples? Yes, cat directly give birth to young ones. A dog give birth to young one. A cow, buffalo, human beings. Okay. And most of the animals, wild animals, lion, tiger, giraffe, elephant, all these animals, you can make a list of animals which directly give birth to young ones. So there are many animals which directly give birth to young ones. Then how can we identify which animal lay eggs and which give birth to young ones? Okay, it is there is a very simple logic. The animals which directly give birth to young ones, they feed their young ones with mother's milk. This is one identification character. Okay. Next, are there any patterns in nature that give clues to modes of reproduction? Yes. Are there any patterns? Yes. So here, for example, you must have seen the young ones of various animals being born. Okay, the young ones, babies, small. Can you tell how chicks and caterpillars are born? You know, the mother hen or a bird sit on the eggs for many days, for example some 1 or 2 weeks. So after that, what happened? The chick breaks the shell and it will come out. So this process is called hatching of a egg. So that is the clue by means of which we can say this is the mode of reproduction. The next, for example, caterpillar. The caterpillar forms the cocoon and after few days it breaks the cocoon and a butterfly come out, isn't it? Then how are the kittens and puppies born? How are the kittens and puppies? Small baby cats and baby dogs. So here also the mother directly give birth to the young kittens and puppies. Do you think that these young ones looked the same before they were born as they do now? Okay. So definitely, so let us find out. So name some animals are listed below. Observe carefully and fill the table. You need to fill this table, and here the list of animals are given: deer, leopard, pig, fish, buffalo, giraffe, frog, sparrow, lizard, crow, snake, elephant, cat. So here you have to categorize these animals: animals that have external ears, animals that do not have external ears. If you take deer, it has external ear, it have external ears. Leopard, it have external ear. Pig, external ear. Buffalo, fish, it don't have external ears. Buffalo, it have external ears. And giraffe, it have external ears. Frog, no. Sparrow, no. Lizard, no external ear. Crow, no external ear. Snake, no external ear. Elephant, very big external ears. Okay. Cat, it also possesses external ears. So here from the list, seven animals have external ears. You can write the names of those animals in the table. Okay. Then whereas fish, frog, sparrow, so fish don't have external ears, frog don't have external ears, sparrow don't have external ear, lizard don't have external ear, crow don't have external ear, snakes. Okay. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 animals in the list given above don't have external ears. Okay, you write the names of those animals and you find out, you can add to that list the animals with external ear and the animals with without external ear. Here this is the, we are finding the clues. Are there any patterns in the nature that give clue to modes of reproduction? So the animals with external ears, they are called mammals. The mammals, they directly give birth to young ones and they feed their young ones with mother's milk. Okay. Next. Like that you can find many clues. And the animals which possess a hair on their body, you can list out. Okay. So you, in order to understand the biological concepts, you need to apply the concepts in your day-to-day life. Okay. Now think how animals could hear without external ears. Okay, we have listed some animals without external ear, like lizards, birds, without external ear. Then how do those animals could hear? Okay, they can have different mechanism. Now let us think if there is any other pattern of recognizing these animals. Read the names of animals given below and try to fill the table. Once again here one activity is given. So a list of animals, the presence of external ear, yes or no, presence of epidermal hairs on the skin, feathers on their wings. Okay. So these epidermal hairs seen in those animals whose ears are visible outside. Do animals that have epidermal hairs give birth to young ones or lay eggs? So this is the final clue you need to answer. So first let us list out the name of the animals which show the presence of external ears and the presence of epidermal hairs on the skin, feathers on their wings. So cow, rat, pig, fox, camel, elephant, buffalo, cat. So these are the animals which show the presence of external ear. So how many are there? 8. 8 animals. So 8 animals show the external ears. Yes, they possess the external ears and also the presence of epidermal hairs on their skin. They possess hairs on their skin. These animals: cow, rat, pig, fox, and camel, elephant, buffalo, and cat. The remaining animals like crow, hen, duck, frog, pigeon, peacock. Okay, frog and lizard, different category. So remaining birds like duck, hen, pigeon, peacock. These 4 shows wings and feathers on their wings. Okay. Next, so these animals, lizard and the frog, okay, they show scales or rough skin. The lizard shows, okay, so no hairs, only the tough and rigid scaly skin shown by the lizard. Okay, in this way. So you can also add a few more animals to this list. You can add monkey, okay, you can add a dog and some other animals which you are very much familiar, which you see in your surroundings. You can add to this list which possess external ears and epidermal hairs or feathers. Okay, parrot, sparrow, so many birds are there. You can add to this list. So now try to answer: is the epidermal hair seen in those animals whose ears are visible outside? Yes. Okay, the answer is yes. Most of the animals which shows the external ear, they show epidermal hairs. Then do animals that have epidermal hairs give birth to young ones or lay eggs? They give birth to young ones. Okay, but those animals which possess feathers on their wings, they lay eggs. Okay, so next, now come to the point: viviparous and oviparous animals. From the previous discussion, we could observe that the animals give birth to young ones. They have epidermal hairs on their skin and they possess external ears, isn't it? We come under which category? We come under the category which we have external ears and we possess epidermal hairs. Okay, children. The animals that lay eggs, they do not have epidermal hairs or external ears. Okay, do you agree? The animals that lay eggs do not have epidermal hairs or external ears. So they possess only feathers. The animals which lay eggs are called oviparous. Oviparous animals. While those which give birth to their offsprings, they are called viviparous. What are oviparous animals? The animals which lay eggs, they are called oviparous. And the animals which give birth to their offsprings, they are called viviparous animals. So when a living organism, that is plant or animal, produce offsprings or young ones, the process is called reproduction. Now we are again defining the reproduction. Reproduction is the process which helps the living organism to produce offsprings or young ones of the same kind. Of the same kind. Okay, a dog give birth to puppy. A cat give birth to kitten. That's all, but not reverse. Okay, children. So here viviparous, oviparous one example is given. Viviparous one example is given. You can see the image here. A hen lay the eggs. After laying eggs, it will sit on those eggs and provide heat, that is called incubation. After the incubation period, the egg will hatch and chicks come out. That process is called hatching. Okay, incubation followed by hatching of the eggs and release of chicks. So such kind of animals which lay eggs, okay, they are called oviparous animals. And here cat, mother cat, it has given birth to 3 cute kittens here. Okay, such animals which directly give birth to young ones, they are called viviparous animals. Okay, add more animals to the list. You keep heading oviparous, and under that you write some examples. And next viviparous, you write some examples. Okay, we are oviparous or viviparous. Human beings come under which category? Viviparous. Directly give birth to young ones. Next, modes of reproduction in animals. What are the methods of reproduction? Reproduction is one of the basic life processes. This is essential for the continuation of a species. In the beginning itself we have learnt. Reproduction is the basic life process which is essential for the continuation of species. The animals reproduce both sexually and asexually. Both modes of reproduction can be seen in the animals. First, let us discuss about asexual reproduction. In some animals, the formation of gametes does not take place, but still they produce offsprings like themselves. So the process in which there is no formation of gametes, but the offsprings are produced, it is called asexual reproduction. Such reproduction in which there is no production of gametes and no fusion of gametes is called asexual reproduction. Okay, children, here some examples of different types of asexual reproduction is given here. You observe carefully. So binary fission. Binary fission is one of the mode of asexual reproduction. Here the amoeba, one amoeba divides into two. It is binary fission. Okay, and another example, trypanosoma. It is also unicellular organism. It is also dividing by binary fission. Then next euglena here. The flagellum is possessed. So this euglena also divide by binary fission. More examples you have to remember. The concept and examples. So here paramecium. Paramecium also unicellular organism, belongs to protozoa. It also divide by binary fission. So binary fission is a asexual reproduction. Why we consider binary fission as a sexual reproduction? Because there is no production of gametes and there is no fusion of gametes. Simply by means of fission. Fission is a kind of a sexual reproduction. Binary fission means dividing one organism into two. Next, multiple fission. Multiple fission means several. Okay, one organism can produce more number of organisms, more than two. Then it is called multiple fission. So here some examples are given. Steineria, Delovibrio, a bacterium, okay, and Planctomyces, okay, fungi. So they show the multiple fission. Even the paramecium and amoeba also in adverse conditions they show multiple fission. Okay. So binary fission or most of the asexual type of reproduction takes place when the conditions are favorable, when the plenty of food is available. Okay, when the conditions are favorable, then they undergo asexual reproduction. One activity. The activity 1, observation of budding in hydra. It is one kind of asexual reproduction, budding. So this budding, you need to observe the slides under microscope in the science laboratory in the presence of your teacher. In some animals like amoeba, paramecium and hydra, they show asexual reproduction. So get permanent slides of different stages of budding in hydra. Observe them using a hand lens or a microscope. Better it is clear when you observe under microscope. Look out for any bulges from the parent body. Count the number of bulges and also observe the difference in their size from one slide to the next slide, and draw the diagram of hydra as you see it under microscope. Okay, you draw it in your notebook. Okay, compare your image with the image observed in the slide. So here you can see the slide 1, a small bud bulging out. Here in the slide 2, it has grown some length. In slide 3, so more height it has grown. The next in slide 4, the two hydras you are seeing, means the daughter is detached from the mother. So this kind of asexual reproduction is called budding. So in each hydra there may be one or more bulges, but these bulges are the developing new individuals and they are called buds. Okay, you can also recall the buds in yeast, budding in yeast you already studied in your lower class. So in hydra, the new individuals develop as outgrowths from a single parent. This type of reproduction in which only a single parent is involved is called asexual reproduction. Since the new individuals develop from the buds in hydra, this type of asexual reproduction is called as budding. Budding in hydra is a good example of which kind of reproduction? Asexual reproduction. Okay, next. So hydra, it is a microscopic organism, reproduces asexually. In hydra there may be one or more bulges called buds, they are formed in hydra. Also we see the budding like yeast. In budding, new individuals develop from the buds. This type of asexual reproduction is called budding. Okay children, in amoeba also you can see asexual reproduction, that is called binary fission. Okay children, thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.